Well, here we are, finally, after many, many months of waiting. The people over at Paradox have decided to send me a early press copy for a little update for Stellaris. As you can see in the bottom, Stellaris 2.0. This is very exciting stuff. I've already played around 8 hours of this just to orientate myself a little bit with how everything works. It is very different, to say the least. The pacing is very different as well. But this is not a video about impressions. This is not a video about about reviews and whatnot. No, today we're just going to do our very first run through with Stellaris 2.0 Cherry, as well as the Apocalypse updates to see where we're at. And we already have our nice launch screen, and there is a humanoid colossus in the background there as well. And yeah, it's very, very cool stuff. Let's get into the game. Let's stretch our muscles. Let's go on a journey of learning. Let's go into the game. I've already pre-built a little empire. Actually, I need to change this because I played around with the one planet challenge a little bit, and overall it seemed to be fairly decent. Let's take a look at our traits. What do we got? We are intelligent, sedentary, resettlement and migration cost been increased. Non-adaptive, habitability minus 10%, not best idea. Thrifty, energy credits plus 15%. The way upkeep works now means that you're going to need to be spending a lot of time on these sort of things. So let's stay on intelligent for now, because we do want to tech up relatively quickly. Repugnant is something that we do not want. Sedentary, yeah, sedentary would be good. Migration, yeah, I don't really deal with all that stuff all too much. Communal happiness, strong for mineral, or we can go for, yeah, I kind of do want to get an energy bonus somehow. Slow breeders is not something that I'm particularly keen of. Slow learners is not too good. Unity output reductions, not too great. Deviants, fleeting. Lifespan is kind of important because we do want to keep our population on a relatively high level of experience. Let's put it that way. Wasteful consumer goods cost. Considering the way I'm planning, this is also not a good idea. So we can genetically engineer all this stuff in later anyway, because I feel like we're going to go for a biological route here. Name and class, we're going to go with Continental, of course. Homeworld, Terra, because of course we need to play as humans. Star name, Sol. We are in the Sol system, of course. City appearance, we're going to go with humanoid. Yes, there is full support for both humanoid and plantoids within the update, which is pretty exciting. Our ethics, I want to go with xenophile and fanatic militarists. I'm not going to play on life-seeded today. We are going to play on democratic, and there's a good reason for that, and we'll walk you guys through that as we go. Mainly it has to do with the fact that we now get unity from getting the bonuses from the planetary stuff, or at least the campaign goals, rather than influence. I actually find that influence is not really a big issue whatsoever. Mechanist is also really interesting, and it kind of rolls into this is Rome in the future. We no longer have slavery because that's all being done by robots. Exciting times. So we're going to play around with that a little bit. And we have one more trade remaining. Maybe mining guilds. Mining guilds would be good. Technocracy, no. Mining guilds overall is probably one of the best systems in the game. Cutthroat politics. It's no longer +1 influence. It's now reduction in edict costs. Edicts have also been overhauled completely. Let's go into mining guilds. Let's do it like this.
Maintaining state cohesion as we venture into space presents a unique challenge. We shall face the challenge head on, and we shall be stronger for it.
Vea Victus, indeed. Empire name, the Roman Empire. Adjective, SPQR. Which obviously doesn't make any sense because SPQR is a Roman Republic item rather than a Roman army thingy. Human, double eagle to represent the two Roman empires being united once more. East and West, Byzantine as well as Holy. Gold and red, of course. Why should we do it any otherwise? We've got some options. Let's go with humanoids. They look the best. Ruler title is consul. Hair title we do not need. And that should be it for now. Perfect. I just got back from Korea. I got the most horrible flu, which is also nice. SPQR has been added as a preset item as well, which is kind of cool. So that is nice. Okay, Roman Imperium. There we go. Plural, Roman. Adjective, Rome. Perfect. Let's save this. Let's go in and let's take a look here. We want to play on a galaxy. Huge. Actually, maybe let's squeeze it down to medium, because I do expect this campaign to be relatively decently long. But I still want to get some performance out of my machine. Galaxy-shaped spiral, as is tradition. AI Empires, well, let's crank that up to, say, 18. I don't like advanced. Maximum amount of fallen empires, well, 4. On the huge galaxy, you can get 5. Marauder empires, I do want to have 3. Tradition costs, that's all new. Habitable worlds times, let's squeeze it to 1.25. Primitive civilizations, 1.5. Crisis strength, let's play with 125. Mid-game crisis can start in 2300, so that's 100 years in, and end-game crisis is 200 years. And the rest of the stuff is fairly straightforward. Let's dive in into 2.0. Right off the bat, there's already a lot of differences to be seen. Interesting spawn, by the way. It's right onto the galactic core with a couple of interesting possibilities here. One thing that we need to keep in mind is any system that is not been surveyed, we cannot send our corvettes in. So no more corvette scouting right off the bat. We're going to need to do that with a science ship. We're going to go and science the hell out of everything nearby. Let's go to Terra, our homeworld. And let's immediately build the memorial for the Unity cost. But yeah, I have the flu. Basically, everybody has the flu now because of me. Mission op success.
I hate you.
Yeah, I know. My girlfriend loves me for this. This is the shipyard menu. We want to build a trading hub, and there's a good reason for that. We want to get as much energy as we can, and trading hubs gives us 4. Basically, it replaces the solar panels from the start of the game in 1.9. Let's get physics labs, heritage sites, and engineering facilities, or coil guns maybe. Let's get engineering facility, because we can tech up nice and quickly. We got 10 minerals remaining. We can't really do all that much, so the construction ship's on standby, and let's see where this goes. Excuse me. Don't you worry, dying is only a standard part of nature and all that stuff. I found that the game pacing is significantly lower than it was before. For instance, every single ship, if you want to move from one system to the next, so let's say you want to move to this system, you first have to get in here, then move your ships across, and then jump from this point. There is no jump to jump to jump section, which means that sublight engines are a lot more important in this version of the game, which is rather curious to say the least. Let's take a look at our leader. Constructor build cost, mining station build bonus for 25%. That's really nice. Let's get that building as soon as we can, because normally it costs 90, now it's 67, which is rather good. Let's see, let's just enter orbit here. Let's take a good look at our researchers. Okay, field mechanics. Okay, let's take a look at our options. We can't get any maniacal, sadly, and our governor has an architectural interest, so we can't really get any better ones. Leaders are now bought with energy rather than with influence, which makes life really easy on us. And we should have found a new world, and we have. Mineral bonus. Habitability -5 is not the end of the world. And as always, because some things never change,
Maintaining state cohesion as we venture into
we need to remember to turn that off. The classics never fail.
Complete.
Okay, Sol Starbase has finished its construction. So there we go. That's +4 energy credits, which is rather good. Okay. The construction ship should be in orbit around Titan now. Good. Once that is done, we will send him across the solar system to Uranus. Funny joke. One thing that I also find funny is that the rounding is now .000 rather than what it was before, which is 0.1 or 0.2, with 2 digits after the point. It's now 3 for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why the rounding is like that, but we'll take a look at that at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be modded out at some point beforehand. So let me quickly pop a strepsil in my mouth just to get my throat under control. Okay, perfect. That's all good. So our population, they're intelligent, which means that we can get additional output for tech. Mining is all done by robots. Alpha Centauri has been surveyed. Let's move on. Let's speed up the process a little bit. So everything's hyperlanes now. This actually changes things quite a lot in terms from a war point of view. And once we get to war, we'll illustrate all that stuff. And of course, we will do full tutorials on all of this stuff as well. Basically, half of the tutorials on the channel are ready to be thrown out with the bathwater, as the expression goes. I'm not entirely sure if that is an expression in any other nation than... well, any sort of English language. Is that a thing in England, sweetie? Throwing the baby out with the bathwater?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's the thing then, I guess. Cool. Okay, so we have 12 energy. Let's quickly pause. Let's get this research station going so we get a little bit more engineering technology.
Anomaly found.
We found an anomaly. A colossal impact crater. Cool, 20%. Should be doable. Our first tradition is going to be discovery. Anomaly fail risk reduced by 10%, and the anomaly discovery chance increased by 15%, which is actually incredibly good for the start of the game. You're going to have anomalies pretty much everywhere. Rather nice. Rather nice. One thing that kind of took me a little while to get used to is... let's quickly grab discovery here. The one thing that took me a little while to get used to is the shipyard system. So there's a lot of individual buttons to press here, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm a big fan of the UI just yet, and time will tell if that is going to be the case. But I found myself just clicking all over these stations all the friggin' time, and all civilian ships are built on planets, but all military stuff is built on shipyards. Which makes life easy, or interesting. For the lack of a better term. Alright, cool. So, our construction ship is currently in orbit. Where should we go next? Well, we could go to Alpha Centauri, but Bernard's star is more interesting. So we're going to go over there and put a starport down. Oh, cool. Anomaly research speed. Bonus. Excellent. So, the only reason we're doing this is because there's no more resources over here. Bogor, planet next door, doesn't really have all that much. Every single system now has resources in it, by the way. In the past, here you go. That's the beauty of Discovery Traditions reduction, which is great. Okay, plus 17, plus 11. This pop is going to grow very soon, and let's see. We can't really put any mineral. Alien drag racing. Oh, that's a plus 6 modifier. That is a really good one. Bogor is looking to be more and more interesting by the second. And also, it looks like we have just found some remnants. Okay, so let's get these mining stations going, as well as this research station. Habitable world survey. Yes!
Situation log updated.
Absolutely. Alright, cool. So now that is done, we're going to build a new colony ship. A science ship. And
technology secured.
What are our options here?
Construction complete.
I'm actually going to swap out a couple of guys here. So this is new technology, improved Corvette hulls, which basically gives the Corvette more shooty points, or hull points in this particular case. The way basically ships now function with 3 bars of health, and every single bar needs to be whittled down until you get to the next one. And certain weapons completely ignore certain bars, etc. Let's go for Corvette hull points, because there will be a pirate event very soon. So we have a thing here. Good. We are going to put this guy on there. Yes, I'm aware. And then we're going to put a rocket man on there. Good. So let's get the science rolling. We'll do the same path as the other science ship has done so far. Let's hope that we don't find any neutrals in space anywhere. And we have some stuff that can be upgraded here. Engineering facility, let's just do that. We have more than enough energy. Food-wise, it's 100 energy to clear this tile. Let's just clear both the energy and the mineral tile. We'll put a robot on the mineral tile. Survey speed increased by 30%. That's a good one. Encounter in Procyon. What do we got? We've got space cows. Nothing special there. Procyon is a size 14 continental world.
Star system chart.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. If you're wondering, ASpec, you sound really sick. No, I don't sound sick at all anymore. It was a lot worse yesterday, which is why I didn't record any videos yesterday. Let's go and get this one. Well, I did record video, just nothing with VO. And that was a video that came out earlier today anyway about the Colossi. That was fun to make. +4 minerals and Procyon. There's like I mentioned, there's a lot more resources in space. And that mostly have to do with the fact that you kind of want to keep your empires a little bit smaller. We have the Youth Empire. Interesting. One of the precursor races, of course. Let's, okay, we got 308 minerals. Let's go to our ship designer. Let's update all of this stuff. And then we're going to go into jump into this mess of a screen. This is the fleet manager. We're going to assign a leader to our fleets. Never pick fleet logistician. That has not changed. We're going to put a adaptable leader in there. Okay, and what's the cost of a ship? 145. So we'll just add 2 ships here. And then we will reinforce all. And then our capital will start building these corvettes. I'm doing this because the pirate event is going to pop up sooner or later. And we kind of want to get around that as much as possible. We're going to start colonizing this system. Sonar echoes have indicated the presence of some kind of unidentified object deep within the atmosphere as this gas giant. This could be incredibly good. This is potentially the cruiser that sits under the gas. Yes. It's too deep to be salvaged. That's just shame. There's a possibility for you to retrieve it, and then you can get a cruiser extremely early on.
Star system charted.
Okay, why am I going for Power Plant 2 of all things? Because it was the cheapest. Okay, fair enough. Let's go back to Terra. Okay, cool. Let's build a pop. Let's build a mining network, and
construction complete.
Let's move you over to there. Looking good. Again, at the start of the game, you have so much energy to work with. There we go. A size 20 continental world in Sirius. Why so Sirius? Yes. Sirius, I'm pretty sure is a Class A star, which means that it's crazy hot, and also crazy big, and crazy bright. I did a preemptive script on why Deneb, which is one of the starter systems in the game, specifically for the human Commonwealth. Something moves with purpose on Sirius 3. Nice. Why the Commonwealth, in particular, probably could have picked a better location to put their colony down. Mainly because their planet is probably around, well, about 20 times the distance from the star as Pluto is from the sun. Which I think is like 40 astronomical units, which is an astronomical unit is the distance of the Earth to the sun. So it's a big place. Let's put it that way. It's a really big place. So we got a bunch of new text that we can play around with, and now we're gonna go to our species because we have +18. We're gonna Roman Imperium. This should not be the name of the species. I just realized. Okay, let's set their rights. Considering we're materialistic, we can set their living standards to academic privilege, one of the best statuses in the game. You, sir, are going to be building energy and research stations.
Secured.
+3, +6. This early on in the game is so good for technology. There's the heritage site. Here's a cool one. So planetary unification has now changed. In the past, it was +1 influence. Now it's +5 unity on an empire level. And it adds a bunch of additional edicts, and we'll go into that as well. Got a bunch of stuff we can upgrade. Yeah, the heritage site. We don't have enough resources to do so, though. That is a bit of a shame. Okay, so let's actually rename our Corvette design to something a little bit more appropriate to our theme, shall we? What is a thing that the Roman Empire used for their unit, or at least their stuff that they were using in the military? We're gonna call you a Principe. There we go, Principe. Excellent. And then we'll get rid of the Fabius, because Fabio... Did you know that the Fabio, for those guys that... for those people that do know who Fabio is, got hit in the face by a goose on a roller coaster? How does that happen? Like, one moment you're just, you know, chilling on your way down the hill. You're kind of trying to second guess your life's choices, and then a friggin' goose hits you in the face. Man. Talk about shitty moments. Okay, so mineral-wise, we seem to be a little bit annoying. And this is the thing I was talking about. Orbital researcher mandate has been fulfilled. And we get unity for this. And this puts our unity count a lot closer to where we originally were. It's only 12 months remaining on our next tradition. Corvette hull points. Our Corvettes are now a lot stronger. Let's get coil guns. And we can upgrade our ships as well.
Vessels upgraded.
They are now still Fabius for some reason. They need to be Principe. Damn it. Okay.
Construction complete.
And we got a bunch of levels here. Good. There's the heritage sites. Let's see. Can we build a power plant? There are signs of a precursor civilization. Let's get this thing going.
Technology secured.
Okay, power plant 2. I'm not a really big fan of getting it this early, but it is nice in the end just to balance our economy a little bit. Research speed +5%. Let's flesh out our fleet a little bit more, shall we? So we have our Principe class. Let's build a missile boat. Let's put a nuclear missile on this and a red laser. And we are going to call you a Roarii. The final line. There we go. So now we have 2 types of ships, and we can add another type of ship to our fleets. And we will eventually reinforce all of this stuff, but we will get to that sooner or later. Okay, there it is. Research alternatives being increased by 1 is always good for cycling. Okay, so we've pretty much discovered everything in this area. So let's go over here. And then we want to get this black hole, and we'll go into a little bit more detail on why that is. It does not have to do with the worm this time around. Oh my, +8 minerals in that system. That is delicious. I'm going to wait with my colony for the moment, and I'm going to build an outpost in here instead, because I want to get the resources in this system before I feel comfortable going into the stars.
Vessels upgraded.
Okay, so we've got 5 Principe class Corvettes. They're just hanging around the sun, right nearby our brand new station. The Starhold, in this particular case, the Starbase. We can build 3 of them at the moment. And they're kind of similar. They're basically an additional counter together with the directly controlled colonized systems counter, naval capacity, and, well, and itself.
Complete.
Right now we can only build 3. Later on, as we build technologies, as we get other stuff, we will gradually be able to build more. When I first started playing, light show. Interesting. Blue lasers. Cool, we got free lasers.
Technology secured.
For no reason whatsoever. That is delightful. So that means that we can just go into our ship designer, put a blue laser. Oh, that's not great. Let's put a reactor booster on there, which is also a new item, which increases power generation. Excellent. I will do the same thing. Let's stop doing this, please. No automated designs. I can take care of myself. Thank you very much. There we go. And let's just upgrade our fleet. 70 resources. We got more than enough. Cool. And let's do some manual mining here. Mining stations will cost us 300. Is there any +3s here? No, it's just +2s. But we want to kind of keep our directly controlled systems to a minimum. And there's a good reason for that. If we go into our technology, you will see that the cost of technology increases by the amount of systems that we have. In the past, this was based on planets and population. Now, the more systems we have, the more expensive stuff is going to be. Which is rather unfortunate, because it does cause some problems. And the same thing applies to traditions. The more systems we have, the more expensive traditions will be. We are not going to make a vote here. We got some aliens. Let's take a look. These are alien vessels. What kind of vessels we got here? That's a reptilian ship. We got a neighbor. Let's hope that they're friendly. Oh, one of our scientists has died. Ooh, maniacal. Hello there. You. No. You. No. Okay, you. Okay, let's put the maniacal researcher on there. You are gonna go on a trip to space. Kind of like Starman, even though you're not flying around in a Tesla Roadster orbiting the sun. There we go. For those of you that are wondering, what on ASpec, what on earth are you, what are you talking about? Well, first of all, I'm assuming that you, sir, and or madam, that are in the future, somewhere 10 years from now and watching this, yeah, it's an Elon Musk joke. Ooh, it's only size 13, that's garbage. This one, Sirius, is the one that we want.
Anomaly found.
The Covenant, god damn it. Pacifistic spiritualist seekers. Okay, it could be worse. It could be worse. Okay, so you are going to get a bunch more minerals. And then you're going to claim this system. Okay, what do we got on Earth? A bunch of food-related stuff. We got our first faction. What do we need science-wise? Society, we're really behind. Oh, wow, we got +2 already? Crystal Codex. Ooh, Crystal Codex. Oh, God, Crystal Codex. So, Crystal Codex is dangerous, to say the least. It can really mess up your ethics. So, we are going to research it. Let's go here, and let's right-click on it to make it priority. Okay, you guys are our neighbors. They don't like us because we're materialistic fools, but they are also xenophiles. Therefore, they kind of like us. There are the space pirates, as expected. Now we just need to see where they're going to be coming from.
Special project complete.
Alright, cool. Crystal Codex. One of the most annoying events in the game. The holographic data documents terms and conditions of a trilil blah-de-blah. Okay. Oh, hold on. No, this is not. This is not the same thing that I thought it was. Okay, I thought this is the one that turns half your population into pacifists, but it wasn't. Frequency tuning. Nobody ever uses it.
Enemy vessels.
How you doing, pirates? Oh, this probably would have been a good moment to illustrate the new health system. So there's shields and armor, and their ships are doing kinetic damage, which means they do additional damage to shields. Which means that will drain faster, but armor not as much. Meanwhile, we will use rainbows to at least focus photons to shoot at them, and they do the opposite amount of damage. But we have a lot more, therefore we should win this. Okay. 5 versus 3. Is this fair? Oh, we lost 1 Corvette. That's unfortunate. Did not expect that.
System charted.
What are we doing here? Okay, so they're having some difficulty getting through my hull. This one single Principe is doing just fine. So everybody's just running circles around each other. Good, you're all dead. Didn't leave any wreckage though. Let's send the fleet out to Alpha Centauri to take care of things. Assist research is now available a lot earlier. Not entirely sure if it's a good idea to go for that just yet, because we do want to have our researchers abound. We have
attacking enemy assets.
That's curators. Okay, I can deal with that.
Star system charted.
Oh god, we're gonna lose our Principe. Oh god damn it, we lost the Principe. Maybe I should have sent him home to heal first. Excellent. Well, we get 180 minerals out of it, so whatever. We can reinforce the fleets. So reinforcing the whole fleet will cost us. I don't think this number should be correct. Right, this should be the total number of resources that it will cost for the entire fleet to be reinforced. But clearly, 7 ships is not going to cost us 612.
Star system charted.
Or 4 ships to cost 153 for that
Technology
matter.
Secured.
Okay, Polytechnic Education, Leader Experience Gain, plus 25%. Excellent. And there is another plus 5 Unity. Adding campaigns. Biolab would be nice, thank you. And we could get Destroyer now. In 26 months, that's a pretty good deal. So in the meantime, let's go to our edicts. Campaigns have been unlocked. They cost 1,000 energy each. Healthcare campaign increases growth speed. Recycling reduces consumer goods. And then education campaign increases leader expertise, which is actually really, really good. And you kind of want that at some point, if you have the resources for it, of course. Okay. Plus 27 minerals at the moment.
Star system charted.
So, I mentioned earlier that we kind of want to get this this black hole relatively quickly. There's a reason for that. The reason is there is a building
complete,
which allows you to get an additional 10 physics research from black holes if you build it there, which is pretty damn good. Hello there, Curator Order. Also, there's a Curator Order there, so getting
complete.
Bonuses from them would be really nice. Okay. Where should we build our... Where should we put our next flag? I suggest we do it over here before these guys start to become a problem. And we will build a second one here in Tau Cygni. Earth has a couple of stuff that we can... things that we can upgrade, but I'm not particularly keen on that as of right now. We got plus 6 food. We're doing really strong. Good. So Sirius is now... Those are pre-sapients. There are pre-sapients on my planet. Pre-sapients. Tolerated. Can be selectively purged. Now we're talking. Okay. Roman for the Romans. When in Rome.
Star system charted.
These barbarians with their stuff and their things. Alright, cool. What do we got? We got some Principe and we got a couple of Rorarii. There's actually another Corvette. As soon as you research point defense, you can get a third Corvette that has point defense on it, which is rather cool, to say the least.
Star system charted.
Okay, you have managed to survey this entire area. There's another black hole over here. And these guys will most likely throw the door in my face, if they haven't done so already. Continental planets. Okay, so energy, we're okay. We can always upgrade if necessary, and I'd rather upgrade in space. So...
Tactical retreat.
Alien vessels.
Star system charted.
Let's take a look. What was it? These were... those are rogue droids, I think. The Devil's Maw. What an inviting name. Could be worse. It could be the Devil's Anus. Yeah.
Construction complete.
I should really lay off the pop media references before they get hilariously dated. Okay. Okay, so we've managed to take this system. We're going to take this system as well. And then we're going to follow up with the Maelstrom. How are we with our technology bleed right now? 6 systems plus 10%. We're about to get faith in science. Assisting research now produces 1 unity per science skill level. Researching society uplink meritization. Yeah, fair enough. So, our first thing. Our first ascension perk. We can get executive vigor. Edict duration plus 100%, which is arguably quite good. Imperial prerogative. Core systems plus 5. 1 vision, though. I never took 1 vision in the past, but monthly unity plus 10. Can't say no to that. Or can I? Interstellar Dominion. Claim influence cost minus 10%. Starbase influence cost minus 20%. In honesty, I haven't had any problems with influence cost at all. And my god, we have plus 5. So it's not like this is an issue. We can get a Mastery of Nature. It will basically gives it an opportunity, a thing cost called land clearance, which increases the size of the planet. Apparently, according to somebody on the Stellaris subreddit, all the slaves put a giant bicycle pump into the ground and start pumping until more land pops up. Yeah, let's go for technological ascendancy. I like how I talk about all the other ones and then let's go for the one I totally did not talk about whatsoever. Okay, what do we got? So we can go down there. So let's go into the other arm. There is a nebula over here, and the strategic resources stuff has not been changed. Which means that nebulae are still interesting for strategic resources purposes. I want to keep that in mind. Okay, so +2 engineering. Society research is still really on its ass. Let's put a colony ship down here instead then. Okay, what should we do? Wow, there's a lot of science here. I'm gonna go here. But, considering our theme, Roman province names. There we go. List of... Okay, so we're gonna name our very first province by alphabetical order. It's going to be... Aegyptus. Oh my god, the references to history, they are out of this world. Literally, because we are in space. Somebody shoot me.
Technology secured.
Okay, so there's mineral stations over here that we could use. There's also a bunch of science over here that we could use.
Star system charged.
There's even more minerals. Let's do these ones. We currently, with our current ruler, we're getting a bonus for mineral stations anyway, so... global energy management is nice as well.
Technology secured.
Okay, what do we got? Destroyer. Okay. Nebula Refinery, which is a building that you can put in a nebula, and then it generates 5 minerals for 2 energy, which is an okay deal. Cerometallo armor. Upgrading our ships would be good right now. There's a destroyer. This is going to be the last thing for this episode before we move on to episode number 2. We're not going to put larges in there. Why are we not going to put larges in there, ASpec? Well, larges, their tracking is garbage at this point in the game because what on earth are they going to shoot? There is no large targets for them to shoot at except for maybe space stations. And we're not going to go to war anytime soon. Medium, however, is very interesting. Because, okay, maybe a bunch of smalls then. Okay, let's just do it like this. There we go. Good lord, it looks ridiculous with the turrets on top. Let's auto-complete this. There we go. Okay. Let's put a reactor booster on there. Okay, yeah, that's all fine. Now we need to come up with a cool name. We need a cool name. Principe, we already had. Praetorian, this is definitely not a Praetorian. It's also not a Legionary. We're going to keep that for the cruisers. Okay. Centurion, absolutely not. Let's do... I got a whole list here, so let's Maniple. There we go. Oh, actually, that's a unit, right? It's like a whole group of them. Principale, maybe. Perfectus. Did I already have Estade? I don't think I had Estade. Status. There we go. Status. Perfect. And we'll get Letum out of the way. And now we have a somewhat historically correct. God, stop generating this damn ship design. There we go. Perfect. And now, if we want to, we're going to go to our fleet manager, add a ship, and boop. There we go. We can add a bunch of destroyers, if we have the minerals for them, at least. Anyway, we're going to wrap up the episode here. This is the very first time with, well, at least that I'm doing a video that I talk about the game, at least after playing for it for a couple hours already, and it's starting to grow on me. You know, sometimes I'm like that old man that screams at the clouds because change is bad, but I think I can get used to this. This is very interesting. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We're gonna wrap it up here, and until next time, take good care of yourselves, and as always, eat Shutter.